Hey everybody, Captain Jim Palmer, the Dream Business Coach here, coming to you from my floating home. I want to share with you a very special video. This was a training that I did for the members of my Build Your Dream Business Now Facebook group. It's what separates the top 1% from the rest. This was about a 45-minute training. I've edited it down so there's no banter, there's no answering questions from the members back and forth, so it might be a little choppy at a certain place or two, but all the core training is right here in a very, very powerful 30-minute training that I did. So if you're interested in this, go ahead and watch it. It's 30 minutes, but I'm guaranteeing it's 30 minutes that could change the direction of your business. If you like what you hear, go ahead and visit at www.dreambizgroup.com, dreambizgroup.com. We have over 400 small business owners in the group. Love to see you there. This is Captain Jim Palmer, the Dream Business Coach. Enjoy the training.
What is the number one thing I started asking myself that can help people move into 2018 in a powerful way? And I always come back to the biggest thing, which is your mindset. So I decided last minute to instead train on this topic. You know, basically the reason I even created this whole group, this whole free Facebook community for people who want to take their what might be an ordinary business and really take it to the next level. And so that's what we're doing here. And I want you to know, if you're a member of this group, first of all, thank you and welcome. But I also want you to know that becoming financially independent is definitely not some elusive fantasy. It's not some far off dream that's reserved only for the luckiest or the nicest of people. In fact, if you actually believe that achieving high levels of success is reserved exclusively for the most deserving, the nicest, the luckiest entrepreneurs on the planet, that is bad thinking. And that is what we're going to try and fix today. And if you do believe that I'm a good person, I'm deserving, I give, I blah, 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 then, you know, I really fear that success will forever elude you. Success does not happen accidentally. Success, especially high levels of success, is 100% intentional. And the surest way that I know to create wealth for yourself and your family and become debt-free and ultimately live life on your terms is not, well, first of all, it is to become an entrepreneur, but not just an ordinary entrepreneur, but instead commit to taking the steps necessary to become somebody who would be considered highly successful. You know, the vast majority of entrepreneurs, sadly, are just eking out a living. But if you want to be in the minority, in this case, it's good. If you want to be in the minority of truly high income earning entrepreneurs, then stay tuned, stay focused, and do not disconnect from me, even if what I share with you is hard to hear. If you find me abrupt, if you find me arrogant or egotistical, or whatever you find me distasteful as I share some of these things, do not unplug. And there's good reason why I'll sound that way. I'll explain that, pretty soon here. So financial freedom, which is followed by time freedom, does not come to those people, as I say, who are super nice or high deserving. It does not come to people who have a great idea or maybe even just incredible value or a solution to a problem that a lot of people have, which you would say, well, Jim, isn't that the essence of entrepreneurship? Well, it is. Using your gift and talent to create amazing value and help others, all of these things are what I consider to be the beginning of the entrepreneurial dream business puzzle. But this is where the vast majority of owners stop, okay? And that's why the vast majority of small business owners do not do well financially. The second thing most entrepreneurs need to fix is their marketing. But the first thing they need to fix is their mindset, because all of the talent, all of the skill, all of the great ideas, all of the best intentions will not produce high levels of success and really high incomes if you do not have the mindset and the belief system of a winner. Let me say something about talent. You will earn significantly more money for who you are compared to what you do. Think about that. It's not about what you do. It's not about the deliverable. So whether you're an accountant, a lawyer, whether you're a coach, whether you build great websites, whether you're a virtual assistant, who else do we have in the group? Whether you are fill in the blank, it's not enough to do that well. You will earn considerably more for who you are. And what I mean by that, that has to do with all about the branding and the positioning that you have in the marketplace. Being the best at what you do is not enough. Oh my God. being the best at what you do is not enough, and being the best at what you do will not ensure success. I will tell you, because I've met some of them in different groups I've been into, there are some really, really talented professionals, doctors, lawyers, accountants that are not doing well, even if they can add numbers really, really, really well. It's not about being great at your craft. It's not about your talent. It's about being able to step up, number one, create an amazing brand, promote it effectively, use what I call my $1 million platform, but also have the millionaire mindset that lets you go out there and put a stake in the ground and claim your success. There are thousands, probably tens of thousands of alsos in business, in your niche. There are people who also do what you do. And the only way you're going to earn a really, really nice high income is to really stand out and be perceived to be, first of all, perceived to be the best at what you do, because you then have to deliver. But that has so much to do with your mindset. The biggest difference maker in what separates, say, the top 1% or even the top 10% from all of the rest, it's right up here. I've earned a reputation as somebody gets done. Like I said, I've created multiple six-figure groups. I'm blessed to say my coaching services are in demand, and the various programs and products are needed and used by small business owners. No hassle newsletters alone. At our high point, we had thousands of monthly members using this program in nine different countries. Okay. But the turning point for me after much dragging of my feet was when somebody really stood me up, as I say, got in my face and really challenged my thinking. They called me out on my crap. The reason I share this training with you is this: you and I are exactly the same. Yep. I'm nobody special. I, just like you, have been blessed with a skill and a talent. I happen to be very good at marketing. I'm a pretty darn good coach, it turns out. But none of this was enough to help me build a dream business so I can live my dream lifestyle, board this 50-foot yacht and go anywhere we want. That is true freedom. When you achieve, again, financial freedom, time freedom, that's what it's all about. But my skill and talent was not enough to get me there until I fixed what was going on up here. And so I finally reached a point where my own happy talk about, things are going to be great next year. Yeah, we're really going to turn the corner next year. This was a building year. Oh my God, 2018 is going to be great. Whatever that looks like for you. Or if perhaps you're in busy mode, I attended lots of seminars. That's great. I've got some widgets. I got some new funnels. I've got this, that, and the other thing. I'm reading 6 books a month, and that's busyness. That is not productivity. That is not business building. Not that I have anything against education, but if it's not working to build your business and take it to the next level, merely going to bed at night thinking you're good because you're so active in your business and your checkbook doesn't reflect the activity, that's not good. And you really have to get honest with yourself. I am grateful beyond words that I finally got serious about success, and I started kicking my fears, my self-limiting thoughts, actions, beliefs to the curb. I started slaying the dragons, the demons that were holding me back. I've slayed every single one of them, and that was really the point at which my revenue started going like this to going like this. All right. If you're new to my community, as I said, you might be wondering, well, who the hell's this? And I don't want to take a lot of time today and share my backstory, because even that takes 7 to 8 minutes on the short version. But in 2001, the 2-minute version, the 2001, I found myself unemployed for the first time. I was VP of marketing. I was unemployed for almost 18 months. What little savings we had was gone. I started racking up serious debt. 12 months later, I got cancer for the first time. And then about 18 months later, I decided to start my first business, grew that to multiple 6 figures, but then hit a plateau. Then I discovered internet marketing. I started getting serious about investing in myself, blah, 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 blah. The rest is history. So I have earned the right to be talking about this, but I'm someone who has taken the step each time I've been challenged in the latter part of my growth from about 2007 on. I've been willing to invest in myself, and I've been willing to do the hard work. So that's the short version. You can learn more at getjimpalmer.com. You can read any of my books, and I always fill you in on the other stuff there. Some people think you can tell a lot about a person based on their, let's look, you take a mixing bowl, right? Their skill, their talent, their work ethic, their drive, their ambition, their moral compass, and their mindset, and you mix it all up and you say, wow, that person's got a lot going, not so much over here. I don't believe that's true. Here's what I think. So you take a mixing bowl, you put in your skill, your talent, your work ethic, your drive, your determination, your moral compass, and you mix that up. That represents the machine. That is the machine that is your business. But what drives the machine, what fuels the machine, is your mindset. Let's talk about some of the things that separate the top 1% from the rest. I'm just going to kind of go down a little bit here. Number one, the top 1%, and you can imagine somebody. I mean, you can imagine Mark Cuban, you can imagine Richard Branson, you can imagine anybody you want that's achieved high levels of success, and just kind of put yourself there if that helps you, or put yourself there. Think of yourself. The top 1% have a mindset of confidence. You've never seen somebody who's achieved a great deal in their life have lack of confidence, all right? They've decided that nothing and nobody will stop them from achieving their goal. Nothing is going to get in their way. Number two, they take action. They take it now, and they take it continuously and regularly and always pushing forward. The top 1% are people who are hopelessly impatient. They're not people who say, well, maybe I'll post to my blog 2 weeks from now. Maybe that podcast, which I know is a great idea. Yeah, I'm going to launch that in 2018, and I'm not going to do it right after the first of the year because honestly, who's paying attention with the holidays? And you know what? Next thing you got, oh, what do we got next? Super Bowl and Valentine's Day. I'm going to launch it second quarter. No, I'll do it second. You never hear super successful people put off what should be done now. You find a way to launch it now. Well, why is it? What if it's not good enough? Well, what if it's good enough to launch and you self-correct and keep perfecting it as you go? Ooh, there's a thought. Number three, results matter more than ego. You know, if you look at top 1% people, they do have strong egos. I mean, you have to, if you're going to have that kind of confidence, you have to have a really inner belief in yourself. You have to believe that what you're doing is good and what you're offering is good. And it's going to have value and it's going to help a lot of people. If you don't have that belief, Jack or Jill, you better go sell something else or find something else to do, because people will smell that. They'll smell if you're just trying to make a sale versus if you're really trying to help them. Anyway, results matter more than ego. When you surround yourself with smart people, perhaps in a mastermind group, who are smarter than you and are driven, and they're just really focused on sharing the ideas that will help everybody, it's the people who say, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. And then there's people who go, I can see how that'll work in your business. I'm going to see if I can come up with an idea like that that'll fit my business. That's an ego-based decision, not a results-based decision. One of the turning points for me, I'm going to share the big one in a moment. One of the turning points for me was when I cared much more about getting to where it is I wanted to be than how I got there. I mean, doggone, if I'm not the smartest knife or the sharpest knife in the drawer or the smartest whatever, if I'm not this, that, and the other thing, but there's a better way to do it. And if I just say, okay, I'm going to do that, and it lets me get to where I'm trying to be, I got okay with that. So you got to check your ego. Number four, they constantly invest in themselves and speed up the growth of their business. You can purchase speed of results. You can absolutely do that. I mean, why would somebody pay FedEx $20 or $25 to send a letter across the country on a plane overnight when you could mail something? It'll be there in 3 days for 42 or 43. I don't even know how much a stamp is anymore, but low 40s, right? Why would they do that? Well, they're purchasing speed. If somebody said, you know what, Jim, here's the 5 steps you need to do to start that business, go do them. Or if you give me this much money, I will do it for you, or I'll hold your hand and do it for a little bit less, or whatever that looks like. You can absolutely purchase speed of result in your business. You just have to find somebody who has done what it is that you want to do, put your ego aside, focus on the result, and be willing to invest in yourself. All right. That's a really hard one for a lot of people. You know, a few more things that separate the top 1%. I thought that was a good story to share. As I mentioned, these are all about mindset. The top 1% hold themselves to higher standards. Being average is for the average. They don't change course every 6 months even if they become bored with what they're doing or restless. They do read every day. I'm not a downer on education, but I don't cram 12 books in a month to think I'm doing something great for my business. They do at least one thing every day to cultivate new business. There are days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are my call days when I'm busy. And by the end of the day, I'm like, damn, I took care of current business. And see, in your business, you have current business and future business. Do something, at least one thing every day that's going to affect and hopefully in a positive way take care of future business. So I'll reach out to somebody via email. Sometimes I do have a small supply of books here in the boat. I'll sign a book and send it out to somebody. I follow a lot of people on Facebook. Anyway, I look for something to do, at least one thing, every single day that's going to result in future business. And they also decide, the top 1%ers, they decide that procrastination is a business killer. All right, so here's my most embarrassing moment as an entrepreneur, and there is a huge lesson here. So I'm trying to think of the time frame. I'm going to say it's 2010, 2011. So I've launched my coaching program. I mean, either in my second or third year. I'm very bad with time frames. I'm in my second or third year. I don't know how many people I'm coaching. Could be a dozen, could be 15. I certainly want to grow farther, faster, charge more, all of that. So I joined this high-level coaching program where there were some very, very successful coaches in there. There was one person who I just held very high regard. Thought, my gosh, this person is like the bomb diggity, right? Multi-million-dollar coaching practice, something I would really hope to aspire to. That is my warning. I got a call at 1 o'clock. So we know we got to end by 1 o'clock. So anyway, I fly out to California. I'm living in Philadelphia at the time, and 5.5-hour flight. And I'm preparing myself because my inner voice was going, I'm probably not the sharpest knife in this room, but that's okay. I know I'm going to put myself in a room with smarter people. So I had that. I was investing good money to be in this program, but I still had a little bit of negative self-chatter like, geez, I hope I do well. Hope I don't get called out and stuff like that. Anyway, we get in the room the next morning, and somebody goes, who wants to be the first in the meat grinder? Well, I raised my hand because I didn't want to sit there all day tapping my leg going, oh God, I hope I do well. So I wanted to get it over with. So I got up in front of the group and I shared, this is who I am. These are the different programs, No Hassle newsletter, social media, concierge print mail on demand, custom article generator, probably a couple other things that are going on. On one of the breaks, actually the person I mentioned took me aside, and I'm really grateful to this day that he did it on the side and not in front of the group. But he says, Jim, I'm aware of what you want to do. I'm aware of how much you'd like to grow your coaching business. He said, I'm also aware of what you're doing now to grow your coaching business. And I'm keenly aware of what you're not doing to grow your coaching business. And I said, okay, he's going to suggest I do a podcast or I do this. But anyway, I didn't know what was coming, but I'm processing, right? And he goes, let me ask you a question. And I don't recall if he like put his hand on my shoulder or not, but I'm envisioning it right now as I tell the story. So he's like, Jim, what makes you think, and now he's looking at me eyeball to eyeball. He goes, what makes you think you're entitled to achieve the same level of success as the people in this room, perhaps myself, but yet you're not willing to do the things that we've done to grow our businesses? Can you explain to me how that works? And it was at that moment where I knew I had my crap called out, so to speak. Somebody was calling me out. Somebody held the mirror up to me and made me look at the things that I was not a speaker at the time. I was not doing my own live events. I wasn't thrilled. I think I started doing videos, but I felt awkward, uncomfortable. I didn't have a podcast. All these different things that these people who were really high earners, high income achievers were doing, but I wasn't willing to do it. And you know why? In my own head, not that I said this out loud, this was my most embarrassing moment thought pattern. I'm going to be crazy successful, man. I'm going to be a high income earner, and doggone if I'm going to do it my way. I see all these people over here in the passing lane. I'm going to go this way, and I'm not going to do this, that, and the other thing, which I find horribly uncomfortable. I'm going to do it my way, and I will get there. And then this person called me out, like I hope maybe I'm calling you out today, because I really had to get honest with myself. And you know what I knew I turned red. When I get embarrassed, I feel my ears, I think, turn really hot. I think I could melt glaciers on my ears. So that's how I knew I was embarrassed. I remember flying home, and I remember thinking to myself, never again will I be put in that position. And I was mad at myself for knowing, because as I watch these people, as I study them, as I see what they're doing, both what they're doing, how they're doing it, but also how many groups they're in, and AKA how much investment they're making. And yet I wasn't doing that. And I said, never again. I'm not going to let that happen. And so that's when I decided to, I'm going to start tackling all of these demons, all of these self-limiting thoughts, all of these things, my fears, from being a public speaker to running my own live events, all these different things that were bugging me. No way. If that's what I got to do to have financial freedom, to become debt free, to live life on my terms, then doggone it, I'm going to do that. And that was a turning point for me. Maybe you're there. Can't tell you how many people I talk to that actually want that dream. And this isn't a gym commercial, but it'll seem like it, but that's too bad for you. I said, I can help you do that. I've done it so many times. I can do it. Blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, I'm just not there yet. I might want to coach with you and they'll put in when I get another client, when I do this, when I do that, when I pay more debt. It's always when I, and they push it off because they did not have somebody turn their ears red yet. Anyway, let me get back to a few more things because I've only got about 10 more minutes. Okay, the top 1% have a very strong daily discipline. They rise early. You know, I've always talked about how I'm up and working by 5 a.m. Truth be told, not so much anymore. In fact, since we moved on the boat, my gosh, if I get out of bed before 6 o'clock, it's an early day. But for 10, 12 years, man, I was early. Know the value of your time and protect it like Fort Knox. You want to control your environment. Some people say that, my God, Jim, you're militant about your schedule. It is true. I am. I can't tell you how many people in a day or a week will request, can we jump on the phone? Quick chat. Can I take you lunch? Can I buy you coffee? Can I do this, that, and the other thing? It's not that I don't enjoy conversations with other entrepreneurs, but if I'm going to have my dream lifestyle, I need to work like crazy Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those days are packed. And then if I'm going to be true to myself and honor my no-call Monday or Friday and just really enjoy myself or work if I want to, I can't just do that. So I'm very, very clear on what the schedule is that I want to work, and I've created a business and a structure that allows me to do that, and I don't deviate from that. Okay, so know the value of your time, know what it is to what you want to accomplish every day and every week, and then you eliminate all distractions that you know are going to be detrimental to non-scheduled activities. The top 1% are not afraid to delegate and let go. I could not live this lifestyle if I did not have a team of 13 people over, with Kate Bradbury overseeing a lot of the writers and designers. And she basically oversees everything that happens with my internet businesses. So all I do 3 days a week is work with my coaching clients. That's the business that I've set up. And if I was not able to let go and delegate and just have that run, even if it's not run like exactly how I would want to do it, then I would never have this. So you have to be able to delegate, which AKA always comes back to, are you ready to make the investment to hire people, even if you don't feel ready? Or will you forever be a when I? Yeah, I'm going to get an assistant when I. If I get one more client, I will do that. You know what? I'm going to delegate this when I. Stop being a when I, for heaven's sakes. Persistency and consistency carry the day. I don't think I have to tell more about that. Most people that dream about becoming an entrepreneur never pull the trigger because they are quite risk averse. They're very safe. They want to protect what they have. They'd like to grow it, but if that means risking this, I won't do it. Small amount of people who dream about a business actually become a small business owner. And as we know, 80% of small businesses fail in 5 years. Most people say it's because they ran out of money. That may be true, but if you peel the onion back one more layer, they ran out of money. Why? Because they ran out of guts and courage to keep going, or to invest in themselves, to purchase speed, to get there faster. Let me ask you this. I've worked with so many people that have a mountain of debt like I did. I had over 6 figures of credit card debt. And here's some very important information somebody told me once. Jim, you cannot save your way out of this debt. You have to grow out of debt. And I said, well, if I have to grow my way out of debt, I don't want it to take 5 years. And so I'm looking at, well, let's just say for round numbers, I had $100,000 credit card debt. If I increase my sales, my revenue by 100 grand, I do have some cost of goods, but maybe if I was to generate 180 or 200,000 in additional revenue from where I am now, instead of buying a car or boat or whatever, if I took all that revenue in a year and paid, I would be debt free, right? And that was worth it to me. And that was another turning point that people have a hard time with money. I want to give you one more thing, and then I'm going to give you some homework. You want to eliminate the if only excuses. If you want to grow a dream business, you got to do everything I've already told you, but you also have to eliminate the if only I had more education, if only I had more time, if only the economy were better, if only we had a different president, if only I could do it better, if only I had been luckier, if only my parents had given me more money, if only I could blah, 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 if only nothing. Really successful people, you know what they do? They start where they are with what they have, and they keep moving forward. You build that snowman one little snowflake at a time, and then keep rolling the ball down the hill. Boy, there's the base. You just start with what you have, where you are, and you keep going. Stop the excuses. You'll never find an excuse maker in the top 1%. What I want you to do also, this is the final thing. I want you to think about what I've said about investing. If you're really in enough pain, if you're really at a point where you're ready to purchase speed, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, I want you to think about, what should I do with this information? Should I just chalk it up to a fairly good webinar? Maybe some information, maybe there's a nugget or two that you got, or what am I going to do with this information? Really think about number 2, how badly do you want the success that you dream about? How badly do you want the success that you dream about? And number 3, what are you willing to do to accomplish this goal that you have of creating a dream business? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Or like me, are you going to not be a speaker, not do my own live events, not do podcasts, not do videos, not do this, that, and the other thing? I'm not going to write a book, blah, 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 blah. Are there certain parameters that you're not willing to cross into, but yet I still want to have a dream business? If the answer is yes to eliminating some of those, you're not ready. And again, no judgment, just know where you are. What I want to encourage you is maybe watch this again. My goal and my idea when I had this like last Thursday to do a change up at the line of scrimmage here was to give you something that when we kind of go into holiday mode, not a lot of business is done between Christmas and New Year's. We're thinking about the next year. I think it would be really healthy if you have an honest to goodness discussion with yourself. Turn off your phone, just be in a room. Maybe it's when you're laying in bed at night. I don't know. But when it's just you with you, ask yourself, it hasn't been bad so far, but what the heck am I willing to do? How badly do I want to create financial freedom? How badly do I want to be debt free? How much would I love creating a schedule that I can control and that I run on my own? And if all that is like super exciting, what am I willing to do to make that happen? Am I willing to invest and work with a mentor who can help me get there quicker? Or am I just going to figure it out on my own?